Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Muhammad Abu Bakr, and in this video we are going to solve the Cambridge International Education Biology 5090 over 11 October November 2019 paper 1 multiple choice questions only. So in this video we are going to solve the MCQ portion. So first of all, during a lesson about animal and plant cells, a student reads out a number of statements about cell structure. Only three of his statements are correct. So he asks us which three statements are correct. So all cells have a cell wall. No, this is not correct. Only plant cells have a cell wall. Cell walls are made of cellulose. Yes, they are. Chromosomes carry DNA. Yes, chromosomes do carry DNA. Cell walls contain starch. Cell walls do not contain starch. They are made of glucose. All cells have a cell membrane. Yes, all cells have a cell membrane. A sap vacuole helps an animal cell maintain its turgor. No, sap vacuole helps an plant cell maintain its turgor. Chromosomes are found in the cytoplasm. No, chromosomes are found in the nucleus. So only 2, 3, and 5 are correct. Means B is our right answer. Which statement is always correct for both diffusion and osmosis? They depend on energy from cells. No, they never depend on the energy acquired from cells. They involve movement of particles down a concentration gradient. Yes, this is true. What is diffusion? Diffusion is movement of molecules from area of higher concentration to lower concentration. Whereas what is osmosis? Osmosis is the movement of water from an area of higher solute concentration to lower solute concentration. Means that both of these processes involve the movement of particles down a concentration gradient. They involve the movement of water molecules. No, they do involve, but they do not always involve. They take only place in liquids. No, diffusion takes place in gases as well. So B is our right answer. Which process occurs by active transport? In other words, which process needs energy in the form of ATP? So uptake of glucose by villi needs energy in the form of ATP. So A is our right answer. Uptake of oxygen by root hair cells. No, this takes place by diffusion. Uptake of starch by villi. No, this also takes place by diffusion. Uptake of water by root hair cells. This also takes place by osmosis or diffusion. So A is the right answer. Which statement about the enzymes is correct? Enzymes are made of lipid molecules. No, they are proteins. Enzymes are permanently denatured by the high and low temperature. No, enzymes are denatured but not permanently. They are temporarily denatured by higher and lower temperatures. Enzymes can only operate within a living organisms. No, there are many enzymes like protease which can work outside a living organism. So this is not true. D, enzymes have individual shapes that lock on to the specific molecules. Yes, this makes sense. So D is our right answer. Which diagram shows substances going into and out of the leaf when glucose is being formed? So what is meant by the glucose formations? Mean that photosynthesis is taken place. Photosynthesis is taking place means that CO2 and water combine to form glucose with the evolution of oxygen gas. So it means that this is a leaf. Means the photosynthesis is taking in the leaf. Carbon dioxide would be absorbed, oxygen would be given out, and water would also be absorbed. So B is our right answer because it contains all the necessary arrows we need for the absorption and excretion. So B is our right answer. A small mountain lake has aquatic plants. Aquatic plants. Highlight this. Growing underwater on the lake bed. Shortly after heavy rainfall, the mud on the lake becomes churned up and the water level rises. Why does this cause the rate of photosynthesis of these plants to fall? extra CO2. No, there is not any extra CO2. Why would this happen? Extra dissolved nitrates. No, this is not the right answer as well. Lower light intensity. Yes, this is right option. Why this option is correct? Because the water level has now rose. The greater is the water level, lower is the light intensity reaching the aquatic plants, and lower the light intensity means lower is the rate of photosynthesis. So C is our right answer. Lower oxygen concentration. Oxygen concentration never has a relation with photosynthesis. So C is our right answer. The elements listed are found in all living organisms. Which element is not obtained by the plants from the soil? Carbon. Carbon is not obtained by the plants from the soil. Carbon is absorbed as CO2 from the air. Whereas iron and magnesium are absorbed, and nitrogen as well are absorbed from soil. So A is our right answer. The table describes some characteristics of four people. Which person requires the highest energy intake in their diet? So for A, we have the age of the person is 5. It's a child where sex is male. The level of activity is high and the body weight is 18 kg. Okay. So the next one is a male of 25 years of age. The lower the activity level is low, whereas the body weight is 85 kg. So obviously this person does not require higher energy intake, because the level of activity is already low and the body weight is sufficient enough. So why would this person need more energy? C, the this is a female of 30 years age, with a higher level of activity and optimum body weight. So C can be correct. The last one is an aged female, 65 years of age, with a lower level of activity. The body weight is, I think, is low, but lower body weight does not needs her to take a higher energy intake. So we can rule out B and D. So among A and C, we have to find the right answer. So applying general knowledge on the body weight here, a five a five a five aged boy, or a 5 aged boy does not have a body weight of 18 kg normally. Uh, so, and we all know that children from 5 to 10 to 12 age always play. They have a higher level of activity, whereas we also know that by general knowledge that the that children of 10 age children of 10 age have a body weight of 25 to 27 uh, kilograms, whereas for a boy of 5 age of years, the optimum body weight should be 12 to 15 if we divide this by 2. So the body weight is already high and the level of activity is already high, but in A, the body weight is sufficient enough to provide the energy intake to this child, whereas if we look at C, it is a female with a higher level of activity with an optimal body weight. So definitely it is a female. So lower metabolism takes place and a higher level of activity is there, means there should be greatest energy intake in this 30-year-old female. So C makes the right sense in my opinion. So C is the right answer. Where do both physical and chemical breakdown of food occur? Colon, no. Liver, no. Rectum, no. Stomach, yes. Stomach is the place where both physical and chemical breakdown of food occur. The table shows the rates of absorption of two different sugars, arabinose and glucose, in the living and dead intestines. The concentrations of the sugars inside the intestines were same in each case. So the concentrations of the sugars inside the intestines were same in each case. What are the methods of absorption of arabinose and glucose in the living intestine. In the living intestine. So as you can see that arabinose is 31 and 31 in living intestine and 31 in dead intestines, means that there is not any energy involved in the absorption of arabinose, means that this should be diffusion. So arabinose should be absorbed by diffusion. Diffusion. Whereas for glucose, we can rule out A and B. Whereas for glucose, this is a living intestine. We know this, and glucose is continuously break down. Continuous break down of glucose is happening. So if continuous breakdown of glucose is happening in the living intestines, and he has shown that glucose is 1 or 2. The glucose is 1 or 2. Whereas for living intestine, the concentration of the sugars, so arabinose is 31 there, so ideally there should be 31 glucose as well, but glucose is 1 or 2, it is largely greater than arabinose. So it means that glucose is moving from lower potential towards the higher potential, and this means energy is utilized in this process, means active transport is the phenomenon by which the glucose is being absorbed. So C is our right answer. Mm, what is the importance of large surface area of the root hairs of a plant for anchoring the plant in soil? No, the strength of the root, not the root hairs, is responsible for this. For storage of starch, no. For transport of sugars made during photosynthesis, no. This is under the action of phloem. For mineral and water, for mineral ion and water uptake, yes. A larger surface area means greater is the rate of absorption. So this would favor the plant's body metabolism. So D is our right answer. What is the main cause of water moving up to the leaves in the xylem vessels? Active transport, no. Evaporation from the epidermis of leaf, yes, evaporation is responsible. So B and C can be correct. Use of water in photosynthesis, no, this is not responsible as well. Now some of you might put B as the right answer, but it is not. Why B is not the right answer? Because if you take a look, I'm not drawing a diagram here, but if you take a look on the diagram, the water is moving out from the stomata. Water is moving out from the stomata, which is located on the epidermis. So evaporation on the epidermis of leaf would be correct, not from the epidermis of the leaf. So evaporation is definitely happening from the walls of the mesophyll cells, because the mesophyll cells, these are the mesophyll cells, their evaporation is happening here, and the water molecules moves, and stomata is here, and the water then moves out. So evaporation is taking place from the walls of the mesophyll cells. So C is the right answer. What is meant by double circulation? Blood travels down the left hand side of the body and up the right. No. Blood travels away from the heart in the arteries and back to the heart in the veins. Yes, this is true, but this statement does not satisfy the meaning of the double circulation. So A and B are incorrect. There are two separate circulatory systems in the body. No, there is only one circulatory system in the body. There is a low pressure circulation to the lungs, yes, and a high pressure circulation to the body tissues, yes. So D is our right answer. The diagram shows a section through a vessel carrying oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood as seen through a microscope. What is this vessel? So it would not be a vein unless until it is a pulmonary vein, because this carries oxygenated blood, and it is not pulmonary artery as well, because pulmonary artery always carries deoxygenated blood. So coronary artery is the only left option, which is true in this case. So A is our right answer. Hypoplastic left heart failure is a rare heart condition in which the lower left chamber of the heart has not properly developed and is much smaller than normal. The immediate result of this condition is to cause lower than normal blood flow into which blood vessels. So we have a suppose this is the heart, and there is uh, lower muscles here because this has not properly developed, and these muscles would exert a lower lower pressure, sorry, would exert a lower pressure on the blood moving in this area, moving from this to this, and we know that aorta is the one which receives blood from the lower left chamber of the heart. So aorta would have lower than normal blood flow. So A is our right answer. During a race, the leg muscles of an athlete use more energy than can be supplied by aerobic respiration. Which substance will build up in the leg muscles and cause pain? Carbon dioxide, no. Ethanol, no. Lactic acid causes pain. Remember this. Water, no. Water. Why would water cause pain? So C is the right answer because the anaerobic respiration takes place, uh, and lactic acid is produced from pyruvic acid, and lactic acid causes cramps and pains in the muscles. So C is the right answer. What happens during expiration? Diaphragm muscles always relax during the uh, expiration. Remember this. So the pressure in thoracic cavity during expiration, pressure rises first. The pressure rises and the air is expelled out. Pressure rises and air is expelled out. So, and then the pressure falls eventually. The volume of thoracic cavity decreases. Yes, because we know that pressure is inversely proportional to volume. So B is our right answer. The pie chart shows the proportion of gases in samples of inspired and expired air. Which segments represent which gases? So one is obviously nitrogen because nitrogen would remain same and is in the uh, greatest quantity. The segment two, so in the inspired air, we know that there is 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and rest is other gases. So segment 2 is definitely oxygen, whereas segment 3 is other gases which are present in minute quantities. We can also prove this from expired air because expired air contains lesser oxygen. Expired air contains lesser oxygens and great amount of CO2 and other gases. So 3 is other gases and 2 is oxygen. So B is our right answer. In a kidney dialysis machine, which substance cannot diffuse through the dialysis membrane? So glucose, insulin, sodium, and urea. Sodium, urea would definitely diffuse through the dialysis membrane, and glucose can also diffuse through the dialysis membrane unless until the pores are not so small that glucose is not absorbed. So insulin would not be absorbed because insulin has a greater size. The diagram represents a section through the skin. Which row shows the functions of the label parts? So this is an neuron cell here. This is a neuron cell here. So X receives an external stimulus. So B and D would be incorrect. Y is the, I guess, the sebaceous gland. If Y is, so no, Y is not the sebaceous gland. No, Y. What is Y? Y is the sweat gland. Y is the sweat gland which controls heat loss from the blood, whereas Z whereas Z releases fluid. Z releases fluid. So A is our right answer. Which structure in the brain registers changes in the blood concentration? So it is always hypothalamus which does this. So B is the right answer. The diagram shows a section through a human eye. What are the receptors? Receptors for the pupil reflex. What is pupil reflex? When the light intensity is greater, we have to close the amount of light passing through our pupil towards the lens. So what are the receptors for this? So lens is the effector, lens is the effectors, and D, I mean the cone cells at this point, the optic, the the cone cells here are the receptor cells which detect the changes in the light intensity, which causes the pupil uh, to get small. So cone cells are the receptor for this, and D is our right answer. Which flow diagram shows the regulation of blood sugars levels? So first of all, if we discuss A, so normal blood sugar after eating a meal, blood sugar rises. Yes, the pancreas produces more insulin. Liver turns glycogen to glucose. No, liver turns glucose into the glycogen. So we have to find a converse statement. So looking on the left hand side, so normal blood sugar after exercise, blood sugar goes down. Yes, the pancreas produces less insulin. Liver turns glucose to glycogen. No, liver turns glycogen into glucose. So uh, normal blood sugar after eating a meal, blood sugar rises. Yes, the pancreas produces less insulin. No, pancreas produces more insulin. So B is incorrect. The normal blood sugar after eating a meal, blood sugar goes down. No, the blood sugar increases. So C and B are incorrect. Normal blood sugar after eating a meal, the blood sugar rises. The pancreas produces more insulin for more glucose absorption from the blood into the liver. Liver turns glucose to glycogen. Yes, normal blood sugar after an exercise goes down, and the pancreas produces less insulin, and the liver has to turn glycogen to glucose. Yes, this definitely is the right answer. D is our right answer. Which bone forms the ball and socket joint at one end and a hind joint and the other? So humerus, yes, humerus forms a ball and socket joint and at one end and the hinge joint on the other. Whereas radius does not, scapula does not, ulna does not. So if we show this by diagram, this is a human arm, this is a human arm, and this is the humerus bone, and this is the ball, and this is the socket attached here. Whereas uh, at this point there is a hinge joint here. So humerus is responsible for the for the three-dimensional movement uh, of our whole arm, whereas it is responsible for the humerus is responsible for the two-dimensional movement of our forearm. So humerus is our right answer. Which risk is greatly increased by nicotine in cigarette smoke? So bronchitis and emphysema, no. Cancer of the airways, yes, this is increased, but not greatly increased in comparison with the if we take a look on the high blood pressure. So high blood pressure is caused because the artery walls are hardened by the nicotine. So high blood pressure is greatly increased. The chances of getting the cancer of the airways is increased, but not increased more than the chances of in higher blood pressure. Reduced birth weight of babies, no, I'm not sure for this, but in my opinion, C is right and C is the right option. So uh, during cheese making, the pH of the milk falls, and this causes milk proteins to coagulate. What is the main cause of the lower pH? So aerobic respiration, no, because during cheese making always anaerobic respiration takes place, and in the making of cheese, we know that we use the Saccharomyces bacteria for the lactic acid fermentation. So this is the fermentation by bacteria. So and this produces lactic acid. Lactic acid means that the pH has now fallen. So that's why C is our right answer. Which type of organism produces penicillin and which type of infection can be treated using penicillin? Type of organism producing penicillin is the fungus Penicillium notatum, which produces penicillin, and penicillin is an antibiotic. So penicillin was the first antibiotic to be made, so to be discovered, sorry. So C is our right answer. Four students are studying a pond ecosystem on a bright sunny day. They see the underwater plants giving off bubbles. What is the explanation of this observation? So the in bubbles pond ecosystem. So a pond ecosystem contain on a bright sunny day. They see the underwater plants giving off bubbles. Means so what is the explanation of this observation? The bubbles are CO2 produced during this photosynthesis. No, photosynthesis never yields CO2. Rather, photosynthesis produces oxygen. So A is incorrect. The bubbles are carbon dioxide. The plants are getting their energy for photosynthesis from respiration. No, respiration does not take place in plants. The bubbles are oxygen produced for during photosynthesis. Yes, the plants are getting their energy from the sun. Yes, so C is our right answer. The bubbles are oxygen. The plants are getting their energy for photosynthesis from the minerals absorbed through their roots. No, the minerals do not serve as an energy provider. So C is our right answer. The diagram shows a food web. What is a food chain in this web? So remember one thing, food chain always starts with a producer. So A and C would be incorrect. Uh, Now some of you might put B as the right answer here, but B is incorrect. Why is B incorrect? Because grass is producer and again seed is a producer as well. So there are two producers here. True producer means that this statement is flaw. So seeds, then comes the mouse, then comes the praying mantis, and then the snake. This is the food chain in this food web. Some bacteria survive best in waterlogged soils where they are able to obtain oxygen for respiration by breaking down nitrates. They are breaking down nitrates and then they release nitrogen gas as a waste product. So they are denitrifying bacteria because they denitrify the nitrates here. So among these four, this bacteria applies to the description of denitrifying bacteria. So B is our right answer. How many times must an uninfected mosquito feed on human blood to transplant the malarial parasite in the human population? So the malarial parasite is Plasmodium. So Plasmodium transmission should always occur when the mosquito at least feeds on human blood twice, because once it gets plasmodium, then it starts to transmit plasmodium. And if the mosquito does not feed on the human blood at least twice, uh, the transmission of the plasmodium won't occur. So at least twice B is the right answer. Sewage is released into a river. Which curve represents the oxygen concentration in the river? So sewage is released here. Sewage is released here. So oxygen concentration. Mm, Oxygen concentration in the river. This is quite a tricky question. Now we know that some aquatic plants aquatic plants also live in river l- also live in river live in river, and they release which mind my writing here, which release oxygen which gets dissolved in the river water. So B, C, and D are incorrect because the oxygen concentration is increases the distance downstream. So A is our right answer. So how is A the right answer? The oxygen concentration decreases by the sewage released because sewage released on the river initially hampers the uh, plant plant growth and its activity, but later on the effect of sewage is reduced and the oxygen starts then, and the release of oxygen then again acquires a normal value, A. So A is our right answer. The diagram shows the development of pollen tube after its entry into the ovule. So, which part develops into the testa after fertilization? So, we know that seed coat, also called testa, develops from the integument originally which surrounds the ovule. So, which of these structures is surrounding ovules? D is ovule and C is the integument which is surrounding ovule. So C is the right answer. And we also know that this integument may be a paper thin layer or thick and hard. So the testa later protects the embryo. So C is our right answer. The diagram shows the life cycle of a species of a plant. During which stage does meiosis reduction division occur? So this mature plant does undergoes mitosis to produce daughter plant, which still undergoes mitosis to produce the same original plant. So this mature plant produces gametes. Gametes here means that 2n is divided into n, and reduction occurs here. So A is right. So and then these n and n combine to again form 2n, and this is the fusion, and this B again goes under mitosis to produce the mature plant. So obviously A is the reduction division. The graph shows changes in concentrations of hormones during a menstrual cycle. Which curve represents progesterone? We know that progesterone uh, release in the blood is almost nil during the first 14 days of the menstrual cycle. Then it goes on increasing, and then it suddenly starts to fall after the 22nd or the 21st day. And the progesterone concentration in the blood uh, is almost nil at the end of the 28th day. So B is the right answer because B symbolizes that there is nil concentration, then the concentration increases after 14th day till the 21st day and then decreases again. So B is our right answer. The diagram represents gametes P and Q fusing. So B and Q are gametes. So N and N to give cell R. Cell R then produces gametes S, T, U, and V. So this N plus N combine to form 2N, and this 2N segregates to N gametes. Which statements about the numbers of chromosomes in the cells and gametes is correct? The number of chromosomes in P and Q are different. No, they are both are gametes, so the number of chromosomes should be same. The number of chromosomes in P and S are the same. So P is a gamete and where S is also a gamete. So the number of chromosomes is same. The number of chromosomes in S is one quarter of number of chromosomes in R. No, this is wrong. And the number of chromosomes in T is half the number of chromosomes in Q. No, the number of chromosomes in same is same in T and Q. T and is equal to Q. So B is our right answer. Which statements about DNA are correct? An allele carries molecules of DNA. A chromosome includes a molecule of DNA. Yes, a molecule of DNA is divided into genes. Yes, a molecule of DNA is divided into genes. So 2 and 3 are correct. Now some of you guys might also uh, take first statement as correct, uh, but this is incorrect. Why is this incorrect? Because a single molecule of DNA is divided into genes. A single molecule, not molecules. It is single. It is only molecule, not molecules. It is not a plural. So an allele carries molecules of DNA. Then this statement should have been correct. So 1 is incorrect, 2 and 3 are correct only. D is our right answer. What is not an advantage of genetic engineering? Genes from genetically modified crops can spread to wild plants. No, this is a disadvantage. It can give predictable results. This is an advantage. It can improve taste and nutritional value of crops. It is still another advantage of it. It can reduce the need to use insecticides and fungicides. Yes, the genetic engineering can help us minimize the use of insecticides and fungicides. So A is the right answer because genes from GMO genetically modified organism crops can spread to wild plants, and this is a disadvantage for us. So A is our right answer. A father has blood group AB and a mother has blood group O. What is the predicted ratio of blood groups for this organism? So for father, let me draw the Punnett scale like diagram here. Mother and the father. So the father has IA and IB, whereas mother has the small I both. And I number this as 1, 2, 3, 4. So this IA and this small I 3 and 1, and this IA 1 and this small I number 4, and this IB and this I3, whereas this IB and this I4. So what is the predicted ratio of blood groups for the offspring? So the blood, so the allele, so that the allele A is dominant. So there are two A's, two offsprings with blood group A and two with blood group B. So A ratio B is 1:1. So A is our right answer because there are two offsprings with blood group A and two with blood group B. Which statement about dominant and recessive alleles is not correct? A dominant characteristic is seen in the phenotype of a heterozygote. This is a correct statement. A homozygous genotype may be either dominant or recessive. Yes. For example, we take the albinism or the normal skin pigmentation. Recessive phenotypes always have two recessive alleles. Yes, this statement is true as well because recessive traits like albinism, if we take small a, albinism have two recessive alleles, recessive phenotypes here have two recessive alleles. like in this case the albinism. The phenotype of a homozygote is always the dominant. The phenotype of a homozygote is always dominant. No, it is not always dominant. Suppose if we have a zygote pair I and capital I, uh, and we have small I. So both of these are homozygote, but the capital I is only dominant, whereas the small I pair is not dominant. So the phenotype of homozygote is sometimes dominant, sometimes recessive. It is necessarily not always dominant. Remember this. So D is our right option. D option is incorrect. We have to find the incorrect option. So that's all for our today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and press the bell icon for the upcoming past papers that would help you ace your CIE exams. Thank you.